Hello and welcome to the demonstration of working report generation tool.
Yes, so this is the front page of the worksheet. This is called the control panel, and where we define what kind of risk we are writing the report for. And just to give you an overview, this is the navigator button, which takes us to the next screen. A similar kind of a pink button will be on the left side, which will go to the previous screen. This smiley face is to update the pictures that we have placed in the folder that we have indicated in the previous video. Now let's start building the report. So if you see, right now the report is a complete blank, right? This construction is written, but this is related to or linked with the construction file final sheet. Once we'll change it, automatically everything gets changed, but principally the overall sheet is mainly empty. This is written because we have written something here. So if we delete this thing in the report, there will be nothing. So the distances and all are gone now. Similarly, the rating and the remarks here are reflected in the report below here. So let's start building the report. So here we can see there is some protection written. If we delete this thing up front, then the report will be like this 000. So it will be like this unless the report is generated and the data is entered into the system. So let's start building the report. We'll go to the control panel. We'll write the name of the client, say for instance ABC company, which is in Al Riga Dera, and the occupancy. So this is the primary link. Say for instance there are multiple list of occupancies which we need to select. We for now we select warehouse, and this is the refresh button. Wherever it is there, we need to update the parameters. So it is now updated. Now the nature of business here is we have three categories in the warehouse: logistics warehouse, third party, and trading warehouse. We've selected trading warehouse. Survey date is 15th of March 2020. 15th of March 2020, and it is then surveyed by fantastic engineer, and his designation is next to CEO. Sorry if I forget. Risk engineer. Then it is coordinated by the one who was coordinated, say for instance XYZ. His designation is finance manager. Survey log number is the one which we'll get from the survey work log. Say for instance it is 7151. Now we'll proceed to the next sheet, but before we do, if the pictures are there in the folder, if the pictures are already placed in the folder with the name A1, A2, A3 and front and map, then we can uprightly update those pictures in the report. So we'll just click this button, and if we go there, now the pictures are already updated in the system. Now let's move to the next screen. Here we have the construction definitions and all. If we classify it as there are a number of buildings, 1, 2 or 3, this means that how many buildings are there. So the number of buildings already available there needs to be incorporated in the system. So if there is only one building principally, then we'll select number of block 1. Block name we'll write as warehouse. Then the age of construction could be 5 years, 4 years, 3 years, whatever it is. What is the primary construction? So these are the built-in options. We may select any one of them which is applicable. Like for instance, I am selecting a steel frame pre-engineered building. And now I am telling the overall area is 5,000 square feet, and number of floors above the ground are 0 or none, and the number of basements are none. number of units not applicable, interconnected with none. Internal roofing is foil insulation panel, external roofing is corrugated metal sheet, ceiling is nothing, and floor is cemented concrete. External walls are concrete up to partial height followed by sheet, and then internal lining, if it is there any lining, then we'll put, otherwise we'll left it blank. Assumingly we have this CHB wall at the interior side of the wall. Then exterior facade, there is none, so we'll select nothing. Cladding percentage, if it's not applicable, then we'll write nothing. Cladding fire rating, since there is no cladding, we are not writing anything here. In fire classification, if we know, then we can probably write one of the classification and FPA classification. So we'll move to the next screen after this construction screen. Now this is the exposure screen, where we'll put what is at the left side. So if there is a warehouse, we'll write warehouse. If there is something else, like if there is a garage on the left, we'll write garage. If there is a garage at the right, we'll write garage, and whatever the other occupancies are, and what is the distance and what is the class of construction of that particular risk. So what is at the left side, we'll write the construction classification of that occupancy, and what is the mean distance between the subject occupancy and the occupancy at the left side. Similarly, we'll write anything that is on the right with its construction class and the distance in between, left, front, back, and the overall exposure, how do we rate it, as low to high. Then this is other categories, whatever we drop down will be reflected in our report, and we'll write remarks. If this is optional, if you want to write, we can write. Moving to the next screen, here we have the protection details, and we can write at the whatever the available measures are there. Say for instance, if there is a fire alarm system, I'll say yes, this fire alarm system, what type. I'll write addressable type, what detection point systems are available, point type detection system, coverage is almost 100% or less, number of panel, there is one, there is no panel, or if there is one, then we'll say yes. Panel located at the reception, in BMS room, or anywhere which is 24 hours occupied, this is missing, this needs to be added here. And then what is the status of the panel, was it active, were there faults or anything, it is active. The class of firing, if it is known, then we'll write, otherwise we'll say unknown. So if I'm confident that the addressable system has class A wiring, I'll write class A wiring, and if it is connected with these civil defense or any other 24/7, I'll write 24/7 connected. Similarly, standpipe system, it was installed, number of risers, I'll take 1 or maybe 2. Number of class system 1, 2, 3 based on the type that is installed. What type of hose cabinets are there, wall mounted, number of hose reels, type of hose reels are manual swing, semi-automatic, and number of hose reels that are available, so 2. There are various details. I am just jumping up to the conclusion that how the system works. So now moving forward, we have this occupancy detail again. Now we'll write about the occupancy. So if it's a multi-occupancy, so we need to write yes or 2. So 2 means there are more than one occupancy, so the incidental occupancy needs to be listed here with the primary communicating means, type of construction of the incidental occupancy, and percentage incidental occupancy with respect to the area or the value of the total risk. But we are considering and making it simple, so we'll write it 1. There is no multi-occupancy, there is only one occupancy, that is trading warehouse. So this is automatically selected based on the selection of the initial control panel. Now established in 2015, assumingly. Then commodity class, we have a separate definitions in our ORI guidelines, based on which we can select any one of this, that what type of commodity is there. And for underwriters clarity, we have a complete definition of such commodity categories in the description of the occupancy. Now what type of storage is there, say for instance there was rack storage, height was 15, it's 30, flue spaces were maintained, not maintained, or it is not applicable. Say for instance this was maintained, solid racks were not there, pallets were wooden pallets, impact protection was guards were provided, hazardous store was there, and this was fire rated or not fire rated, we say yes, fire rated. If there is an ambient temperature sinks, there are multiple other details. We make it simple by entering the basic occupancies. Now we'll move to the report. Here we go. So the report is now generated. ABC Computer Company, Al Rigadera, 15th March, surveyed by fantastic engineer and coordinated by XYZ, finance manager of ABC Company. Then this is just a statement that this report is generated through the tool which was updated on March 2020. Occupancy is a trading warehouse facility predominantly storing class 2 commodity type, which is defined as per NFP as class 2 commodity. Then height of storage 15, under the shed having height of 30 feet, clearance of height clearance of height is maintained adequately, and fluid spaces are this is there is a hazard storage, so yes, needs to be corrected, which is dedicated in the fire rated enclosure in the compartment. Warehouse is an independent PB structure. Warehouse is a PB steel frame having covered area of 5,000. Warehouse is a PEB steel frame structure with a column and beam supporting corrugated sheet over purlins, is used at roof, which is used at roof. And there is a mezzanine floor with. Now we'll move because some of the elements were missed out in the detailing. That's why it is like this. Otherwise, it shouldn't be like this. So I put one again, and we put details here. The other details will appear in the construction sheet. Now moving back to the surrounding, here garage is the left, right, and things like this. So the map wasn't appearing, but now it is appearing here. This is the exposure detail that we've put, and this is the fire alarm detail. So the fire alarm that we addressed is addressable type. These are the details of the fire protection. Now based on the pictures that we entered, these are the pictures, and clearly it indicates that the pictures are already entered into the sheet. If we just create a PDF version of it, we'll have a report like this. So I hope the tool is now fruitful for the team. There are few hiccups like the formatting of the pictures and all, which we'll set in the future. But right now the tool is completely in action, and we can use it for the report generation, and we can add further definitions in the future for all kinds of occupancies that we come across. Thank you very much for your time.